we are talking about, are you creating complexity or calmness?
Mm.
Hmm.
Well, there has been one thing that I've said probably more over the last 2 weeks to people than I had. And in fact, it was last week talking to you that you said, and it's called the KISS. And
Oh,
I
yes.
didn't know.
KISS.
And,
KISS method.
yes. And so KISS is keep it simple. And Moira said stupid. I was like, what? And that's sort of, but I'm more and
Well,
more
actually,
saying,
you can say sweetheart too. You can say,
okay.
keep it simple, sweetheart.
Sexy. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, sexy. That's good too.
Keep it super simple there, all that.
There. I
Yeah.
like that one too. That's excellent.
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, just as I was pressing forward, I was thinking our listeners must really get this different vibe when I introduce and when Deb introduces. It's
Deb
very
starts on
different.
the song. Welcome.
Yeah, that. And then here's this welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, dear listeners. Here we are with another one of our deliciously motivated mindset podcast conversations. Love hanging out and doing these conversations, and we trust that you do too, dear listeners.
You better. Oh, there's the difference between Moira and Deb. You better.
Right there. I'm really looking forward to this conversation today. I think this is going to be a good one. Well, they're always good because, you know, if they weren't, we would not be here doing this. That's my opinion anyway. But dear listeners, if you've been here with us before, you know that we do a little check-in. And if you haven't been with us before, welcome. And this check-in that we're going to do is we're checking in on all levels of us. I like to think of our PEMS, our physical well-being, our emotional well-being, our mental well-being, and our spiritual well-being. And we're just going to give ourselves a number on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 is when you're feeling chaotic and oh my God, and discombobulated stuff, crazy making chaos, all that kind of fun stuff. And 0 is where you're feeling completely zen, calm, blissed out, present. Yes, like that, just like that. And the truth is, as we move up and down that scale, this assessment tool is just simply that, assessing you. And it actually helps a lot of unconscious, sort of unkept things. It helps you be the boss of you, helps you manage your own emotions and mindset and things of that nature. So all that being said, what number from 0 to 10 would you put yourself at, my dear?
I'm actually going to put myself as a 1. I would have said I was closer to 0, but just since I sat back down on my chair, something's happened to my back and it's a little bit ouchy, and I can feel all my muscles in the moment. So I'm like, something's going on. When it tips to your physical, it's no longer in your head. So I wonder what's going to happen today in our conversation. So I'm going to say a 1, just because I can feel my back's gone a little bit. Oh, what is that?
Interesting. So I'm actually at a 1 also. This often happens to us that we're actually the same, because similar to you, and it's funny, like we didn't talk about this. I think there was another one where I had the physical impact and you had it more energetic, and this time you've got the physical in your back, But for me, I've just got this sense of a chesty irritation, like
Okay.
deep down in here, like
So if you
something
want to get
needs
something
to.
off my
It's
chest,
like,
and I've got to get something off my back.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And that's the difference between Moira and Debz.
Off my chest and off her back, and
Yeah.
so
She's at the front and I'm behind.
and together we'll land this ship.
That's it. That's the
I
one.
love that. Love that. So, listeners, we encourage you to grab a taking implement, whether that's a pen and pencil or your notes on your phone, and because we love to give points and tips and ideas, and we'd like you to make a note of where are you on that scale of 0 to 10, and then when we have the half point check-in, you can check in and make a wee note of your number then, and then we'll all check in again at the end. The intent of our conversations is to move you or meet you wherever you are and potentially shift you down closer to that 0. That's kind of what this is all about, right?
Yeah.
So all that being said, our conversation today is we are talking about, are you creating complexity or calmness?
Well, there has been one thing that I've said probably more over the last 2 weeks to people than I had. And in fact, it was last week talking to you that you said, and it's called the KISS. And I didn't know.
KISS. KISS method.
Yes. And so KISS is keep it simple. And Moira said stupid. I was like, what? And that's but I'm more and more.
Well, actually, you can say sweetheart too. You can say, keep it simple, sweetheart.
Sexy. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, sexy. That's good too.
Keep it super simple there, all that.
There.
Yeah.
I like that one too. That's excellent.
And it's just, I feel I'm saying this more and more to people. They're like, I want to design my logo. I don't know if I should use blue that's 80% this or blue that's 90% this. And I'm like, oh my God, keep it simple.
There's complexity.
Yeah. So it's a real important to, I'm not going to say pick your battles, but just keep it simple. Like, keep it simple. Like, does it matter if it's 80% or 90%? Then why don't you do 85% if you're stuck between the two?
Yeah.
Like, just keep your decisions and actions simple. Because which is your calmness, because when you're sitting in that, I don't know if I'm going to have 80% or 90%, and I'm not sleeping and this, and it's like, whoa, what
Really?
why do you want to do this stuff? Yeah.
So are you familiar with the saying getting lost in the weeds?
No. Because
that's what that is. That 80% this, that you're getting lost in the weeds. The idea of it is like if you're down a stream in a boat and you're not steering that stream or the boat, sorry, you can kind of go off course and get caught up in the bulrushes.
That can so relate to that. Yeah. And I also say to people, we pull the weeds out of your head to plant the flowers. The flowers are not going to shine until you get the weeds out. I actually get what you're saying. And that's exactly it.
It is.
You just
keep it
simple.
Yeah.
But I think with that, keep it simple. We can say keep it simple, and people can go, yeah, mate, it sounds easy, but I can't. Like,
you're totally lost in the weeds then.
I know. I can't do that. And then suddenly last time I tried to do this, we put a poll out there and we asked 10 people and all of them said they didn't like it, but we really like it. Like, why'd you ask the poll?
Yeah.
If you like it,
then
go out
done
and put
deal.
a poll. Yeah, if you want to do the 80% Navy, but everyone else said, I don't even like the Navy, and then just do what feels right for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because that energy that you're putting out, whether it's 80 or 90% of that Navy, is going to feel right for you, and you're going to love that as it goes out.
So leading on from that, I was just thinking about what you're saying too, is that this tip that about are you creating complexity or calmness, is that if you're really sure about something and you've checked in with your heart, you've checked in with your higher self connection, and you're really sure that this is the best choice, then go do it. Don't need to be asking other people's opinions. because that's going to inject complexity, right? You might get somebody saying, oh yeah, you could do it, but that timing's wrong. Or you could do it, and they'll start putting in their ideas and filters and stuff, which could technically completely derail you and take you out of your own, this is what I really wanted.
Right? I think that's that Pac-Man, oh, my brother's sister's cousin's nephew, his neighbor, they've been in business for 20 years, so I'm going to go and talk to them about opening up a business. It's like, okay, I don't know if because they're in business with dog grooming, I don't know you opening up a shop on flowers is going to be the same thing, but yep, or you're a service base and not. So yeah, go get some advice, but just know not everyone's your people, I guess the thing would be.
Yeah, not everybody's your people. And are they aligned? Are the people that you are asking, are they aligned, and do they honor your individuality too?
Well, my very first accountant, he had never had anyone service-based. He was product-based. Everyone had a product and had a product. When I came along, 15, 16 years ago, he was like, oh, I've never worked with someone like you. And I'm like, okay, I hear that all the time. Okay, tell me something I don't know. I don't know if that's my attitude. But he's like, and what he meant was, I've never done a service. So getting an accountant who hasn't done someone who's service-based, his zone of genius is product.
Right.
Now he did amazing, and he worked with me, and I kept referring him more and more people
who were service-based.
Yeah, who was service-based.
And
he was like, I'm learning. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you. But it was just those little things, and just be aware of the people. Are they your people? Now, I loved him to bits, but I definitely had to carry his weight a little bit.
So, that's a really good part, because my tip that I wanted to share on the back of that is to be
I say that, but I think I was a big burden. My head goes, yeah, but he also had to carry your weight too, Deborah. Hang on a minute. I just say that. Okay, carry on. I can hear that
I think it for me, it's about being aware of the energy, right? We can feel complexity. We can feel calmness, but we need to take a pause for a moment to just see, is my request or my what I'm looking for, is it coming in with a sense of calmness and ease and grace, or is it like hitting like a bumpy road, like, oh, but this and with this. But see, as soon as you start seeing the but, then that to me is leading to the buts are creating a bit of complexity. And so that's what I mean by reading the energy. To me, I'm not going to force or work with a lot of buts. If it's the right fit and the calm flow, then it's like, great. But this is all about, and we've been talking a bit about this too, is it's like, it's not your people. Maybe it's not your service provider. Maybe it is. Right, but you can discern as to what degree of calmness or complexity is starting to spawn already, just in the initial conversation, right?
Totally. And you already know. God, I think this is the other thing. You already know the answers.
Yes.
So you don't need to ask 10 other people. Like, you already know. You just, I guess, well, that's back to that trust again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I already know that, but we don't
do the buts.
Yeah, one of the things I'm going to say, and which just made me giggle then, because I literally just did it, and to create complexity or calmness is ownership.
Yeah, 100%.
And when I say ownership, own all your positive and negative traits and actions. Own all of it. Because what we do is we say, I don't do this. I don't cut people off in the traffic. I never do that. Never. I never do that. Such black and white thinking. I don't do that. Well, I guarantee within 24 hours, you're going to get in the car. And it's that quick. It is that quick. And even when just before I talked about my accountant, and I said, I carried his weight. And I could hear that, and my soul went, hang on a minute, Because instantly I went to, and that's just how quick you can go into ego, because I said I carried his weight, because I did carry his weight.
Right.
And then I went, actually, he also carried my weight, because I then went, hang on. And I took ownership of that. And I went, yeah, I carried his weight for that. But also he carried my weight because I asked a lot of questions, or I didn't get back to him on, like, there was a lot of that. So that ownership is really important to your soul. So my physical body, when I said that, had a shudder.
Right.
And I was left talking to Moira going, wow, that's weird. Why did I do that? And then I went, oh, hang on.
Yeah, there's the rest of the story.
Yes,
Yeah.
you suddenly went to ego-minded. I carried his weight, but in reality, so I wasn't in my heart. My body knew that and went, hang on, you're not taking ownership of the role you played and he played with you.
Yeah.
And it's just that. And all I did was then, I said it clearly out loud. I said, hang on, he also did this.
Yeah.
But I don't have to say it out loud. My head has already acknowledged it. I've taken ownership. And all of a sudden, my body, my tenseness in my body that clenched up when I said it to you, just relaxed instantly as soon as I went, oh, actually, I do that too.
Yeah.
And I took ownership of that. So that's how quick it can be. Hand on your heart and you go, oh, yeah, I do that as well. Giggle, whatever, move
Release,
on.
let go.
Yeah, and that's how quick it can be. It doesn't have to be that complexity of oh, what about this and what about this, and I need to look at this, and I need pen and paper, and I need to sit in a grounded space in the park with no noise around me, and like, no. Doesn't have to do with it.
So that brings into, and this is off the same thing, because this belongs with ownership, is to call yourself on your BS. And so that means on the literal sense of BS that we talk about, but you and I have talked about this before, BS is belief systems also.
Yeah.
So call yourself on it, because to your point, right? Sometimes I can't do it until I got the candle and the essential oils.
I have no time today. I have no time. I need to have all this. Yeah, no.
But that could be BS. You have to discern which one is it.
It's our first number. Keep it simple. Our first topic. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. And so don't get caught up on it has to be this way. Like, in a previous conversation, we were talking about people who get caught up in needing to repeat affirmations or mantras a certain amount of time. Maybe keeping it simple says, I just say it once.
Yeah. And setting that attention, having that trust, isn't it?
Yes.
I say with ownership, is own your shit. And that's pretty much what it is. It's ownership is own your shit. And so call yourself on that stuff, because even though it might feel uncomfortable when you have to call yourself on that, but the result is far greater than sitting in there going, I don't do this. No, not me. Don't want to look at that. Haven't got the time, and creating these crazy as stories that put you on that hamster wheel again.
Really, but it's like, because underneath it all, you're only lying to yourself when you say, I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do that. Yeah. We've talked about before, I love that idea of the mosquito of doubt will be whining at the back of your head saying, oh, yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. Remember this time? Remember this time?
And it just keeps coming in, and it won't stop until you flip and acknowledge.
Until you acknowledge and say, gotta call myself on that one.
Yeah. So you can hear it. Gotcha. You're like, okay. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think the other, we talk about, are you creating complexity or calmness? Now, there's value to having that complexity. There's definitely a value of that, because it helps you get clear and unpack it. So there is definitely glitter around your complexity, because it shows you. And how do I put this? So I celebrate when something comes up and I go, oh, this doesn't feel right for me. Instantly, I've trained myself to celebrate, oh, I've got a goodie.
Yeah.
And instead of just going, oh, God, I'm going to have to deal with this, and you go instantly into a slump, oh, I'm going to have to deal with this, how am I going to do it, where am I going to find the time, all those things, instead of going, yay, I've got something to celebrate. Instantly, your body and energy goes, I can look forward to doing this. I can help you when you're ready.
Yeah.
Instead of the other way, your whole body just goes, oh, don't want to do it, don't, and getting yourself into that. So so finding the blessings, or celebrate that there's something to work on. Celebrate, be grateful that you've got something to work on, because it means you're not going to stay sitting where you are. Evolution wise, you're going to evolve. It's just something to know that it's happening all the time.
Absolutely. And I think that when we can get into that appreciation, that, oh, look what's come up.
Yeah. I didn't know this was hanging there.
Exactly. Yeah. But you see, you do even that when you have, it's like having a light hold on the seriousness of everything about you, but also it opens you up. There's a lot of freedom in that. What I mean by that is that you're coming to, I'm going to visit with this. I'm going to get the wisdom from it, and I'm going to get the experience from it, and then I'm going to let it go. Whereas when we do the resisty part, like you were just saying, oh, I don't want to, this is going to take forever. This is awful. This is terrible. People like me shouldn't be in this, blah, 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 blah. It's like, unpacking it is going to be so much more heavy, and got to plod through it and unpack all these other layers you just landed yourself with. Right. So it's about which way do you want to do it? Because maybe you do want to add the resistance thing as part of your experience, but own it. Own it. What's the story you're telling yourself about it? And remember, is it a story? Right. So when we say, oh, it's just a story, okay, you can also rewrite it.
Yeah. And I think that's you can also rewrite it. See, just how simple. You can also rewrite it.
Yeah. Yes.
Like and that just keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. Yeah. I think one of the tips I'd like to give is I am worthy.
Yes.
And this is one that and it's not about self-punishing yourself or something, or when you've done something, just reminding yourself, I'm worthy to live in this planet. Mm-hmm. I'm worthy to live here. I'm worthy to give advice. I'm worthy to smile at people. I'm worthy to scowl at people. Whatever it is, it's just remembering I am worthy of living here, being here,
taking up space, playing
I've
this
got
role.
value in this flipping world.
Yeah.
and I have something. Yeah.
Otherwise, and I can hear yabbas. I can hear people saying yabba when you say something like that. You don't know my story.
Yeah. Well, what is it? Same shit, different day. I was talking to a girl the other day, and I said, "Oh, how's your day going?" And she says, "Oh, it seems to be the same pattern I have every day." I said, "So same shit, different day." And she goes, "Yeah, that's exactly." I'm like, okay, that was an old saying I had.
Yes.
I didn't even know. Is that still a saying out there? It was one of the things.
Yep, I've heard that one before too.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Same shit, different day. It's like, okay, well, maybe you want to look at these patterns.
Yes, maybe you want to do something a wee bit different, and actually realize that it's in your power.
Yeah,
you have the power. So that thing about I am worthy, just the fact that you're here listening and breathing says you are worthy. No more story, no more negotiation. You are. And then
end of full stop, explanation mark, walk away. I am worthy. That's it.
Yeah. And you can do a little zing with your hand,
I know,
the little glitter zing.
That's actually a really hard one, because I know I went to a workshop many, I was young, and we had to look in the mirror and say, I have something. And I remember I was probably 19, and I was like, oh, okay, I can look in the mirror and say I have something, because I don't even know what we're doing, but I definitely have something. Like, I've got boobs, I've got funny personality. Like, I don't think I sort of listened to everything she was saying. But it was interesting seeing people not being able to look in the mirror and say, I have something. Like,
interesting.
Wow. And from a young age, I was like, what do you mean you don't have something? Look at you. You've brought us together. You've got us, and people, it's often easier for other people to tell you your amazingness or what you've got or how you can help than you. I mean, not me specifically, but for you to see it yourself.
Right. Yeah.
So people can go, oh, you can't, what is it? So it's easier to promote someone else than it is to promote yourself, they say.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying, is that whole difference to that. That
The
makes sense?
self-awareness and telling yourself, like being self-aware to say, I have something.
Yeah, we've all got something, but people, when they get themselves into that pickle,
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not worthy of this. I'm not worthy of this world. What have you done? Oh, I remember lying to my mother at 10. Oh, okay. Anything else? Anything? No, I just remember that I feel really bad and I never told her the truth. Okay, and how old are you now?
40.
17. Yeah, it's like, okay, time to let that BS go. But that's exactly it. So you are worthy. You are
You
worthy.
are.
End of
Yeah.
story.
Mhm.
That's it. And full stop, explanation mark, done.
And so, with stories like that's a really good example of that's actually creating complexity within yourself of that. I am not worthy because I took Johnny's apple and didn't let him have it.
Wow. Yeah. But that's the stuff. And
Mhm.
you're like, and sometimes for me, I'm like, what? That's what you've held on to? Like, seriously, nothing else? No. Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
And it's just allowed more fluff to grow on that
Of course it does.
issue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just layers and layers and layers. And so that's the thing, is that when you come, if you're doing your personal work and you go back down and unpack the layers, oftentimes it is something as simple as, I didn't give my sister half a sandwich that she was supposed to have, or right.
I
And
know.
and then comes in the, I have to pay a price, or have that atonement process or something. You can do it yourself. You can just let yourself off the hook and just be, you know what, I did the best I could with what I knew at that point in time.
That's that shame and guilt, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, because that's the stuff that immobilizes you.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And can create this whole filter or vibe of complexity. And to your point, your complexity can be your zone of genius. But if it's an energy drain, then it's not.
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
So I know that some people love complexity. They like to play chess games and play, have things all, it's kind of like organized chaos or something, and they thrive on that. So it's about knowing, where do you do best? I'm thinking about the phase of the moon that we're coming into this week. It's actually in the sign of Libra, and Libra is all about balance. So it means, can you find the rhythm of your balance between complexity and calmness?
Yeah.
And regardless of the moon being in the sign of Libra, it doesn't really matter. It's just bring that energy into the conversation for yourself.
So it takes me back to keep it simple again.
Yes. Yep.
Keep it simple, and do more of that.
Yes.
Do more of that. What I was going to say is, are you creating complexity or calmness? Now, if there's something going on in your world and you're just like, oh, it's the same shit, different day, I say that, then do something different. Shake it up.
Yep.
So if you're just like, oh, out of bed and I've had a tired, and I woke up and my neck's still stiff from sleeping and it's been the same pattern for the last 6 days or whatever, okay, change your pillow. Do something different. Or go and sleep on the other side of the bed and see if that makes a difference. Or get up and clean your teeth with your left hand if you're right-handed.
I was just going to say that. Like, other non-dominant hand. Walk down the stairs backwards, holding onto the banister rail.
And don't blame us if you...
But no, doing things in a different order will change
Yeah,
up
so
the energy.
yeah, and I've learned that this is called a pattern interrupt. I didn't
That's
know what
right.
this is called.
It is
You know,
called a pattern interrupt.
Of course, Moira knows it's a pattern interrupt. I don't know. I'm like, oh, I just do this, and so it literally is yeah, it's got a label. Of course, it's got a label, Deborah. But I love that it just allows you to do something different. Like if you clean your teeth with your right hand, and so then you clean your teeth with your non-dominant hand. Oh my God, that is so hard. And you know, even when you go to dribble to spit it out, I find my mouth connects with my left hand, which is awkward, and I'm like, what? But you're doing something different, and you're getting present.
Yes,
and you're
exactly.
focusing on that presenceness over the chaos that's running your mind.
Or the whole thing in this pattern is the same pattern, like you said, different day, same old shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the, and as soon as, and this needs to be a really double underlined tip, is that if you ever say verbiage to that extent, the same thing, this is like your own essence trying to say change things up.
Yeah.
Do a pattern interrupt on yourself, whatever that pattern interrupt feels like or looks like. Do things in a backward fashion. Drive a different route to go to your groceries.
It's actually exciting. It's actually a level of something different. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a firm believer in doing something different if you just feel yourself getting yourself into a rut. You don't have to get yourself into it. Yeah, even you don't do it when you get yourself stuck into a rut, but just do something. Although they say if it's working, don't change it. Yep, I get that 100%. But if you feel if it's coming into your mind that I want to change it, change it. Don't sit in that whole thing and go, oh, I don't know if I can change this. Oh, it's telling me I need to change it. And oh, it's working so well the way it is. And it's like, oh my God, how much time are you going to spend on this? Change it or don't. End of story.
Yeah. If it's working and it feels calm and good, then nothing. It's not part of this conversation.
Yeah,
right?
Perfect. And the universe just went doo-doo-doo.
Yes, I heard that confirmation.
But I do love that pattern interrupt idea, just to shift things around.
Well, to your point, it really helps you stay present, and actually really helps you just kind of assess. Does this feel good? Does this feel light me up? Does this feel like I'm having fun, or I'm in alignment with what I really want to do, to create, to be, right?
Yeah. Know your desires. The other thing is, the other tip is, we talk. Oh, actually, it's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn.
Oh, it's your turn for a tip.
Oh,
Moira's like, oh, I'm thinking one. Yep. What?
Well, I think just from my I think this is an important part, is to visit with the energy of the complexity or calmness around you in your environment. But the best way to do it is internally first.
Yeah.
So it's really about you gotta do your inner work first, but then the outer work takes care of itself. So that complexity, I don't know about you, but
this is actually part of my topic. My tip I was going to say, is you can't run. Don't run from anything.
Yes.
Is what I was going to say. And then I was like, don't run from anything. Stop. Get it in your soul right before you take that next step. So it's exactly what you're saying. Do your inner work first.
Do your inner work first. Because sometimes you can use the outer image as a guide. If you see chaos and complexity around you, then it can be, oh, to your point, look what's just come up, or look what I've just become aware of. This is an invitation to go in and do my inner work, and then let everything else around you take care of itself. Because we are connected. And so if I see something that bothers me outside of me, then it's like, oh, I need to sit with this and breathe through it and actually unpack it within me. It's not about me having to go and say, I have to go and deal with that external situation that looks complicated or complex to me. I have to sit with me, tell myself the truth, do the inner work, and decide, where's my balance with complexity and calmness, right?
And that what Moira just said is actually a great one from our 0 to 10 that we did at the start
Oh,
of this
yes,
podcast.
definitely.
Your PEMs and your checking in,
Mhm.
and knowing that, if you feel you're chaotic and you can just go, oh, no wonder, because I'm sitting at a 7. Oh,
Yeah.
that makes so much sense.
Yes.
No wonder I don't want to get off the couch, or no wonder I'm feeling like this because this, and this has happened, and it just allows you to acknowledge that, so don't run from things. It allows you to acknowledge that and then go, okay, I'm going to do my work on this
Mhm.
because I'm at a 7. I don't want to be at a 7.
Yeah.
I think I'm worthy of being at a 2
Yeah,
or whatever.
and so I'm going to go for a walk, or I'm going to go and journal
It's
out.
acknowledging that and seeing it, really, isn't it? Again.
Yeah.
But I do love that little check-in, and just, it's a label. You can label it, you can use it as a label or whatever. It's just, but you're not going to attach yourself to that label. You're just going to go, oh, no wonder I'm
Mhm.
sitting at a 5 because I've had no sleep, and now I've got to get 4 kids under 5 ready to out the door, or we all slept in and I've now got 35 minutes to get out the door compared to my 3 hours or something.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And oh, no wonder. And it's just a labeling it, going, oh, that makes sense. And that's that makes sense to do the inner work around that.
Yeah. And so that's just you're starting there with an acknowledgement, which then opens the door to breathing through it, to releasing it, to writing it out, to doing whatever it is you need to do to, journey through it. Right.
Yeah. I love that. That.
But that's always does it, regardless of the topic. Inner work is always the first thing that has to get done, right?
Yeah. And I guess that's that fear, fear-based. Oh, last time it took me so long to deal with it, or last time, and that goes back to, that BS again we've got.
Yeah.
Oh, it takes so long to clear any emotion. Oh, it takes us. Well, it doesn't, by the way. You can reach out to Moira or Debz. Just saying that.
Yes, doesn't take any time.
Yeah. Well, and the moment you reach out, and this is what I giggle at because I say this to my team, the moment you are going through anything, just reach out to me, because I guarantee as soon as you've reached out to me, that chaos of being a 9 instantly goes down and drops its number, because you've taken accountability to say, I want help. Now, I might not get back to you. I'm not saying that or not, but I mean, you've already started the ball rolling in your healing process, and just doing that first step is enough to shift things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that thing, I don't know about you, have you ever had that experience that you book a doctor's appointment because you've got some kind of issue or ailment going on, and you book it, and then by the time you get to the doctor appointment, you're like, oh, everything's fine.
Yeah.
I don't have any of the symptoms anymore.
Yeah.
Because they got addressed just by doing it.
The moment you've actually said, oh, I do have a glitch in my system, I'm going to do something about it. The moment you acknowledge that and not run from it, fear-based, the moment you just go, tick, I've got that, then the universe goes, okay, we'll help with the next step. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's a beautiful part of it.
Yeah. But that's going, see, when we talk about the inner work thing, inner work does not mean that it's solo. Inner work can be done by asking a Deb or a Moira to help you through something.
That's a great one, because we're not saying you have to do this alone. There's, we're not saying that at all. Yeah.
No, and that's what I've said before, is that try doing tips. If you hear tips and pick up nuggets from our conversations or from other places that you learn from, but if it starts getting sticky, that's when you got to reach out. And you're doing that because you are worthy of your own kindness.
Absolutely. I have a mentor who just tells me, whenever you get an emotion or something going on, just text me. I'm like, I'm not going to text you 20 times. She goes, I don't even read your texts, Deborah. She's just telling you, I don't even read your texts, because it comes in and I have the different ring and I know it's a client. I don't need to read it. I'm like, what do you mean you don't read my texts? Hang on, I text you. She said, no, the moment you get anything, just send it to me. She said, you've already started. I'm like, I know that, but
don't tell me that.
Yeah. What do you mean you don't read my text? But she energetically, she already knows I'm in a pickle. Right. And the universe goes, oh, yay, Deborah, you can see it. And I think that's the beautiful thing. So is there any other tips before we wrap this up for Are You Creating Complexity or Calmness? Or they're bound to come in at the end?
They're going to come in as we review what we've shared. I know they are.
Yeah, I know they are. I don't even know who started. I don't even know where my notes are everywhere.
Well, I think you kicked us off actually with the kiss.
Oh yeah,
You
actually,
kicked us
yeah.
off with a kiss.
Kiss. Keep it simple, sexy.
It's simple, sweetheart.
Yeah, that's the one.
I like the one you did though, the keep it super simple.
Yeah, keep it super. I love that.
That's a cool one.
Just don't overcomplicate
Mhm.
anything. You don't have to overcomplicate it. Do we get, I don't know if I need to, do I get chips or do I get curly chips with my fries, or do I get curly fries? It's like, oh my God. Oh, I
Pick
can't
one.
decide between
Pick
curly fries or not. I know. And we know those people.
Mhm.
We know that, and we all do it. Oh, I don't know if I have that and that. Really? Okay, guess what? We're back here in 2 days' time. Have the curly fries then. Just choose this.
Yeah.
So keep everything simple. Just that allows you to sit in a centered and poised place instantly.
And brings calmness. And that's when I said about don't get lost in the weeds.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I love that because I can see, I literally went to seeing all that craziness.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Mhm.
My next one, I think, is know your people. And I've written Pac-Man beside it. So know your people. And I talked about my accountant being a product-based accountant, and I came in and I was a service-based accountant. So know the people around you, know what their skills are, know what it is, have the right tribe around you, is know your people.
Yep. Yeah. And I added on a wee bit, I wrote a wee bit adding on to that is be aware of when you're asking for advice, are they aligned and in that realm? Like, are they your tribe? Are they aligned with what it is you're doing? You're not going to go and ask a gardener for tips on baking.
Yeah.
Well, you might, but it'd be
you might, but you might not. But yes. But it's true. 100% true. 100% true. That's exactly it. Yeah.
My next tip was about being aware of your energy and look for the fit of your sense of ease. So it's about carving out a wee bit of just time to pause and see how's your energy.
Yeah.
And because the energy around you is going to be a reflection of what's going on for you internally, right? So energy is such an important piece in anything that we do.
Yes, and I think we did the old yeah but.
Yes.
Yeah but.
Fire the yeah buts.
Oh, yeah but has a place in your life, and it's called bow and arrow and shoot it as far as you can.
Yes.
And yeah, that's the one. And the next tip I've written down is call yourself on your BS.
Yes. So
And
this is about ownership, taking ownership and calling yourself on your BS.
Yeah. And actually the one before was ownership. Yeah, ownership. Yeah. And call yourself on your BS. Yeah. And so when you say I don't do something, it's going to happen in the next 24 hours. So those stories that we hold on to, I never do that, just own it, own your shit, and move on, and just call yourself on it, because you're going to live a more authentic, aligned, just a beautiful world. Now, you're never going to be in peace 24/7. Just know that. So don't think you're going to get everything harmonious and you're going to skip through life with no challenges.
Well, it'd be kind of boring if it was anyway.
Yeah. You wouldn't be listening to these podcasts. And
That's
just
right.
be like, okay, I don't even, and it's all about evolution.
Yeah.
But just pause. You've got this, and call yourself on that. Don't skim on any of that crap.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Which my next tip was all about trust, and we talked a lot about the different areas of the trust that you can get through whatever comes up, and trusting that that the more you are tell yourself the truth, you've called yourself on your BS, and you trust this is a passing thing. I need to get through this. I can get through this. I'm in the right place at the right time. And just taking one step at a time towards your balance, right? It's the balance between complexity or calmness. We do need a degree of complexity to make it interesting, to make it fun. But when it becomes too overwhelming, then we may need to say, I trust myself to, get back into equilibrium with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so important. And with that trust, I wrote down celebrate.
Yes.
Celebrate and appreciation. So when you get that glitch in your system and you see it, celebrate and don't just go, oh, I've got to deal with that.
Yeah. To
instead of just
celebrate
going,
the blessing of it. Mhm.
Yes, celebrate. Oh, I've got something to work on. Oh, okay. This is actually going to be a lot. This is going to be a fun
This
one.
is juicy. Look at this
Yeah.
juiciness that I get to deal with.
Yeah, because knowing that it's actually got an uplifting experience instead of
Mhm.
instantly, your brain is shifted instantly.
Absolutely. Leading off the back of that one, I wrote down was about, is this a story you're telling yourself? And if it's a story, you can always rewrite it. Right.
Yeah.
So like you were saying,
that's right. So that's how simple it is. Oh, I can
Yeah.
rewrite this. Like, yeah.
Yep. I don't have to believe the story I'm telling myself.
Where was I yesterday? Oh, I was in my group coaching and someone said to me, I've picked up an ancestral pattern that happens in our family with money and da-da-da. And how do I change that? And I was like, what do you mean? How do you change that? They're like, well, everyone's been broke in my family. And I'm like, but you're not.
Yeah.
And they're like,
so you did
no,
it.
I'm not.
You're broke.
I'm not. I know.
Broken it.
But everyone, and I'm like, but you've already broken it. You've seen it. You've already broken that. But how do I change it? And I'm like, you've changed it. You've changed it. Like it's happening now to you. And I think that's our whole keep it simple again. It's just it's like you've already changed it. You don't have to overthink this. It's done.
We're energetic beings. It's once and done. I saw it. Bang. It doesn't control me anymore.
Yeah. Well,
and it ripples back through your ancestry when you do that. P.S.
Well, which comes into that other one. I am worthy.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think when they go to look back and on the replay, they're going to see my face like, what the frick? What? Because there was definitely no filter. I was like, what pattern are you changing? I thought I'd missed something. I'm like, you've just said that's the pattern and you've changed it pretty much for the last 15 years.
Right.
How did you change it? Who for? Well, just for me.
Yeah.
You've got more money than both of you. You're doing it now.
Yep.
But it was, I don't think I had a poker face on that one. But that does bring into that other tip of I am worthy.
It absolutely does. Yeah. And that I like that thing about that, because it's not complicated. This is like you see it, you got the message, sent the memo, and now I'm done. Right?
Yeah. Once and done. Yeah.
That brings me to my last tip, was to always remember to do your inner work first.
Yeah.
That when we talk about, are you creating complexity or calmness, it's to the degree that you find your right rhythm and your right balance between those two, the complexity and the calmness, that's what ripples out energetically all around you. It increases your resilience too when you do our inner work first. It's because we are worthy, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and we talked about with the inner work, we talked about your pens and not running from things.
Yes. Showing up for yourself. Yeah, because we talked about it. The first step is acknowledging.
And if you have to label it.
Yep.
Oh, it's just a label that can be change your story again.
Exactly.
And I'm just going to give that last tip that I had, which we've now found a label for it called pattern interrupt, which of course I didn't know that was thing. It's like, just change, do something different, do something different. And someone said, oh, that's called a pattern interrupt. I'm like, oh, is it? Yeah, that could do that. And shake it up. Clean your teeth with your non-dominant hand. Just do something different if you feel things are getting chaotic. Because the truth is, doing that pattern interrupt is just getting you present.
That's right.
That's the whole purpose, is to get you present with what you have right here in front of you.
And actually, it's kind of fun too. Makes you laugh.
Yeah.
It can make you laugh. It can makes me laugh.
Well, when I had my accident, I had to wipe with my left hand, and that was awful. It's like, oh, now how far around do you reach? Like all of those things. Yeah.
It's quite a challenge. That I experienced that when I broke my right arm.
Yeah. It's and you get present, and you appreciate so much more. When I was in a wheelchair, I appreciated other people in wheelchairs. Like I thought they could still get through the doors and things like that. It's like, no, Deborah,
Nope.
you think they're going to get through but I learned so much when I was in those wheelchair and things. But yeah, pattern interrupt. So we are, any other tips? No, I think we've covered them all.
I think we got them all. And added a few more.
Yeah. Are you creating complexity or calmness? I think we've delivered some amazing tips here. I would love to know what people think of them and what one they love the most, or is there something that we've missed off?
Definitely.
Because there's quite a few here.
Yeah,
there's quite a few. So let us know. But at the start, we also did check in with our PEMS emotion, and we did a 0 to 10 where we were, and we were both.
We were both at 1. Yeah, we were both 1.
And so we're both 1s, and you being the listener, where were you at? And then halftime you checked in. So where are you now? Where's everybody now? What's that evolution change for them? So where are you, Moira?
I'm a 0, but you probably knew that.
Yeah. I would say I'm just a smidgen off a 0. So I'd say
0.25.
Yeah, I'm a smidgen off. I'm not going to say 0. There's something saying I'm not saying 0. But yeah, I'm a smidgen off that. So let us know where you've gone. The intention definitely is to bring you to that 0. But if you're not, go back to, if you're not at a 0, look at what's going on around you. And my number 1 tip is kiss.
Keep it simple.
Super
simple.
Yeah, keep it super simple. Yeah.
And call you on your BS anyway.
Yeah, that's the one. But please reach out to Moira and I, because we are different personalities, but we do deliver the same stuff, really.
Yeah, we kind of do. We kind of do.
Yeah, we kind of do in our own different way. But our intention is to share our knowledge with you so that you can level up, so you can evolve. So we're pattern interrupting your world constantly.
Absolutely.
So if you like today, if you love today, the next step for you is to share it, invite people into our group, and share this wisdom that we're doing, because there's lots of points here that can definitely shift people from a higher number to a lower number.
Definitely. Definitely. Yes.
So thank you, everybody. And thank you, Moira, for jumping on here today to talk about, are you creating complexity or calmness?
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, I know. When she told me the topic, I went, I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to even be able to say that. Yeah.
And you did. Awesome.
It's lovely to have you on. Thank you, Moira.
Thank you, dear Debs. This has been awesome. Thanks, listeners. We'll talk to you next time.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.